He's done with Top Rank, right? He makes the effort to cross the street in order to get an Earl Spence Jr. fight. Earl Spence Jr., as soon as that happens, pays Stanionis step aside money in order to get a Ugas fight right after Bud Crawford became a free agent. So hold on, y'all. You mean to tell me that Earl Spence Jr. wants a fight with a Terrence Bud Crawford, even though he paying guys step aside money so he can fight them in lieu of a Terrence Bud Crawford? So here's the other thing that I need y'all to understand, y'all out there listening. Why is it that there are no guarantees that a fighter is gonna make it from one fight to the next? So each and every time a fighter stalls a fight, essentially what they're saying is, I'd really rather not fight you. If it comes to the point where I do have to fight you, I may, but I'd really rather not fight you. And that's been Earl Spence Jr.'s philosophy this entire time when it comes to a Terrence Bud Crawford over the last 4 years. I really had rather not fight you, and I was hoping something happened to you prior to me getting to you, so that way I can avoid the fight. But since how you're still there and I almost got no choice at this particular time, let me try to see if I can get the fight, all right? That's what it is at this particular point. And let me respond real quick to what my brother said, because my brother made some points, so we got to get to that real quick before we close up. He mentioned Bob Arum, right? But again, it's always blame Bob, but there's no issues with the fights that are able to be made cross-promotional between Top Rank and PBC. The Crawford John Molina fight was a cross-promotional fight with PBC, right? The Crawford Felix Diaz was another cross-promotional fight with PBC, right? Wilder Fury 2 and 3 were also cross-promotional fights with PBC. So explain to me why Bob Arum is an issue, right? Explain to me why it's an issue to sign with Bob when Bob Arum's paying you the highest guarantee as a welterweight. Do y'all not know that Terrence Bud Crawford is the highest paid welterweight? He has the highest net worth and he's the highest paid welterweight, right? So explain to me, what would it mean for you for a guy to cross the street, fire the promoter that was paying him the most amount of money in order to take a pay cut fighting an Earl Spence Jr.? I'm gonna need y'all to really make this shit make sense to me though. And then the brother also said something like, Bud don't sell, right? I think that's what he said. Bud don't sell. So your Dennis Ugas does, right? That's what he said. He said, and then he brought up Ugas, and then he said, well, Ugas got more pay-per-view sales than a Bud Crawford. But he's forgetting to mention, of course, he's forgetting to mention the fact, I don't know if it's intentional or unintentional, but the two pay-per-views that he's talking about were with Manny Pacquiao, the second highest selling pay-per-view guy of all time, right? And an Earl Spence Jr. But the Earl Spence Jr. could only go off the numbers off of a Manny Pacquiao in order to give Ugas the split he got, which is 50-50, right? So really we can only use the Manny Pacquiao numbers. And then when we use the Manny Pacquiao numbers, we need to understand Manny Pacquiao's like the second or third highest selling pay-per-view guy in history. And in his fight with Dennis Ugas, he did the lowest sales or the lowest pay-per-view numbers ever in history for a Manny Pacquiao fight. And that's because nobody knew who the fuck Ugas was, right? And that's no disrespect to Ugas, but you're not gonna sit here and tell me that Bud Crawford can't sell, but Ugas can, or Danny Garcia can, or Sean Porter can, because at the end of the day, none of them dudes were on pay-per-view prior to an Earl Spence Jr. fight, right? And then the brother said something about, how can the A-side price themselves out? Oh, that's easy. 70-30, 80-20 is clearly a price out, because once again, Earl Spence has never given anybody a 70-30, 80-20 split. Not Sean Porter, not Danny Garcia, not Mikey Garcia. Nobody, fam. And then he also said something, and this the last point I'm gonna make, and I'm gonna close it all the way out. I'm gonna conclude it and I'm gonna close it out. But then he also said Bud said, I hope we can make it happen. But of course, he doesn't mention all the dozens and dozens of times Earl Spence was asked about a Bud Crawford fight, and the only thing that came out of his mouth was, we'll see. Of course, he don't want to mention that. But in conclusion, Earl Spence Jr. has been ducking turns Bud Crawford for the last 4 years. It's written in the sky. All the facts and everything line up with it. You know what I mean? And that's all there is to it. But I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to pass the mic.
All right, man. Real quick, shout out to my brother-in-law. I'm your daddy with the $30 in the super chat. He says, keep grinding. Shout out to, I missed a couple here too. Shout out to Candor21 with that super sticker with the $20 in the super chat. Shout out to Tyrese Bowie. If I'm saying your last name wrong, bro, I apologize, but that looked like Bowie to me. With the $2 in the super chat, he says, cook, box or die. He won't horn. That's a dagger. Tyrese Bowie back in that super chat with the $2. He said, box or die second. TKO start the post-fight interview. My brother Andre Williams in the super chat with the $2. He said, why haven't Bud fought for a belt since Jeff Horn? Shout out to Mr. Turner with the $10 in the super chat. When did Earl ever say he wanted to fight Horn out his mouth? Let me know. Shout out to Mr. Shelton with the $2 super chat. Bud's fans don't buy his pay-per-views. It's y'all fault, he says. Shout out to my beautiful wife with the $10 in the super chat. Thank you, baby. She say smash the like button. Yeah, we're looking pretty good. 230 likes, 253 people in here. We got 23 people still ain't hit the like button. Please, please, please smash the like button. And shout out to Andre Williams again in that super chat with the $2. He say pay-per-views, ? Bud can't sell lemonade at a lemonade stand. And then shout out to my brother Mr. Shelton again with the $2 in super chat. Says just making it up as you go along, huh? All right, and then let me go back. I think I saw another super chat come through. Give me 1 second. Oh, shout out to Mr. Turner coming through heavy with that $100 in the super chat. Thank you so much for your support, Mr. Turner. You showing up and showing out today. I appreciate you. He says, the fuck is this man talking about? Earl has been through more ish than Bud, and Bob was being sued because Bud sued his butt for not getting the damn fights he supposedly wanted. So stop. All right, Ricky, rebuttal round. Let me get to... And I appreciate you again, Mr. Turner, man. There's a lot of support, and I appreciate you spending your money, man. I'm glad you enjoyed the content, man. We're trying to get as many of these debates for y'all as possible. But in order to get them, y'all got to smash the like button. And I know it's 254 people in here. Listen to me, bro. You may be agreeing with Boxer Die right now. You may be agreeing with Ricky right now. I don't care. As you can see, I ain't cutting nobody out. So all that shit people try to say about me cutting people off, just you see what the facts are when we have a debate going up here on this channel. But with that being said, they don't just talk Earl Spence and Terrence Crawford. So if you're a Terrence Crawford fan and you don't like what Ricky is saying, I'm sure he got content. He got fighter ratings. He do old fighters, new fighters, young fighters, champions. He got everything he talking about on his channel, bro. Not just Earl Spence and Terrence Crawford. So go subscribe to him. His link is in the description. Same with Boxer Dot. Maybe you ain't a Terrence Crawford fan, but maybe you like Demetrius Andrade. Maybe you are the camp that Canelo is a duck. Maybe you just like boxing content in general. He does not just talk Earl Spence and Terrence Crawford on his channel. He talks about boxing as a whole. We got great boxing minds up here, and they deserve our respect by simply hitting on the link I provided for you guys and subscribing to their channel. If you guys aren't subscribing, if you aren't rocking with them, if you're not showing the debaters that are taking their time to spend with us, that they can grow from doing this, that we support them and we appreciate them, then people are not going to want to sign up for the debate series. So please support both of these brothers and do everything you can to go watch their content and subscribe to the channel. I don't want to be on my soapbox, so I'm going to be quiet. Ricky, I don't mean to cut you off in the flow. Let me get this last little super chat, bro, and then we're going to get back to it. Shout out to Post Up with the $5 in the super chat. Says Ricky dude just cooked himself. Was not, bro. Listen, I love y'all support, bro, but y'all gotta stop. We don't throw alley oops and assist and shit, man. But he says Ricky dude just cooked himself with some of these talking points. He actually killed some of his own arguments. Post Up, I appreciate the support, but guys, please let these guys debate. I had Kwame in here earlier trying to debate. Post Up offering points, and I think I just got a cash app too, man. Shout out to who is this right here? Shout out to, give me 1 second here. It's loading up, man. Shout out to my brother Educated Jab, man, with the $3 in the super chat, man. I appreciate you, bro. I appreciate you, man. Always showing support to the channel. All right, rebuttal round. It's on Ricky. We got 5 minutes for the rebuttal. Then we moving on to the final round that will be judged. Let me get my timer going. All right, Ricky, rebuttal round. It's on you. Timer starts now, man. Do your thing.
Box or die. Great points, man. Great points. I gotta give you your respect. But you said a word again. You said it at the beginning. Words mean something. Contradictions. You said that. You made the point that EJ said maybe we'll see. Bud been saying the fight's not gonna happen. Period. He said it. It's on tape. EJ said it, but then his own management team, Bud's own management team, come out and say the same thing. But it's different for Bud. It's just weird how selective y'all are with what EJ says, and y'all hear what y'all want. But the one thing I know I heard for the last 3.5 years is that Tyrone Davis, my apologies, Bud Allen Crawford has been saying unequivocally that this fight is not going to happen. You said that each belt is worth 10%, right? So if the belts don't count now that EJ have them, why do the belts count when Bud had them? Please pick the story. Right? Please pick the story. And yeah, you're right. Those fighters didn't have pay-per-views, right? Those fighters never fought pay-per-views, but they still do better numbers than Bud, who's got 3. We have to keep acknowledging, we have to acknowledge that boxing is part of the business, right? It shows that EJ is a bigger draw, since those guys, like you said yourself, are sub-tier fighters. So with that being said, when you walk in your femininity, Bud Crawford, you can't pick off the plate. You got to take it all, my guy. When you're walking in your femininity, I need y'all to listen. I got a bunch of background noise. Thank you. Right? When you walking in your femininity, you got to take it all off the plate, Bud. So when EJ told you to go get a belt, you did it. When he told you to take 60-40, you should have done it. And now out the A side, then sent you a contract, because again, what the fans were saying. Just call him out. Say his name. Right? He Candyman. All you got to do is say Bud's name. Call him out. You call him out, no fight. The A side sends you a contract. You don't sign it. And all those points you made, everything you went around, you still haven't gave me an answer of when Errol Spence said, no, this fight is not happening. You can go on YouTube, chat, you can go on YouTube right now, do a search, and find Bud Crawford saying at least 3 times, he don't want to fight Errol Spence. The fight's behind me. I've done more than I did in his little career. I don't need him. You know what? I'll move up and fight Jermell Charlo. If it walks like a duck, if it talks like a duck, if it swims like a duck, it's a duck. I relinquish the money.
Already. Now I apologize, Ricky. That's my fish tank. Y'all can't see I got a big ass fish tank behind me, so that's what you heard, man. I apologize. I didn't mean to mess up your flow, bro. So my apologies to you, fam. All right, Boxer Die, man. It's on you, bro. You got 5 minutes for your rebuttal, and your time starts now. Do your thing.
Yeah. Salute, man. Once again, man. Salute to my opponent, Ricky Williams. Salute to you, Knockout. Salute to the chat, all my haters out there, and all the supporters, man. Appreciate all y'all, man. But let me make some quick points to respond to what the brother said. Um, the brother said that Bud made some statements in regards to the fight not happening. You know what I'm saying? You know, I always find it very interesting when people bring up that point when they say the fight ain't happening, right? They always say that, but they never bring up the 3.5 years, the 3 years prior to Bud making that statement. You know what I mean? They always forget about that part. They always want to bring up that Bud said the fight ain't happening, which I always find very fascinating, right? And then the other part about that as well, right, is you can find me 1 or 2 interviews. Bud Crawford is saying the fight ain't happening, but I can find you at triple or quadruple that saying I'm looking for you, Earl. Where you at? Earl Spence has been ducking. You know what I mean? My thing is all the picking and choosing about what Bud quotes we're gonna use. You know what I mean? Whenever it suits our purposes. You know what I mean? You wanna talk about Bud saying that the fight ain't gonna happen, but you don't want to talk about the 3 years. You don't want to talk about the easy route. You don't want to talk about the get a belt first. All the hurdles that Earl Spence jumped through. Bud Crawford jumped through in order to make this fight happen with Earl Spence Jr. It's always convenient for y'all to leave that out. And then other thing, right? The brother also mentioned the fighters, Danny Garcia and Sean Porter, and these guys having somehow better pay-per-view numbers than a Terrence Bud Crawford. I'm just trying to figure out how. Where's the track record? Where's the history of pay-per-views that supports what it is that you're saying, right? And then the other part of that, right, is you're giving these fighters credit for the pay-per-views that they did with Earl Spence. But hold on. I thought Earl Spence was the big fish. I thought he was the cash cow. I thought he was the man, right? So how is it that we can give Danny Garcia, Yedenis Ugas, these other fighters that were along the easy route, credit for being a bigger draw than Bud Crawford when they have no track record and the only pay-per-view history they've ever done, meaning the only time anybody ever trusted them to be on a pay-per-view ticket is with Earl Spence Jr. So I don't get that. We really gotta pick an argument. Either he's the big fish and he's the guy that generates all these pay-per-views, or he's the guy who's fighting other big name fighters, and the two of them together make up a big pay-per-view or a successful pay-per-view. But it's always convenient how a lot of Earl Spence fans like to switch and they like to pick one. They like to say Earl's the big fish, but then they want to say Danny Garcia and Yedenis Ugas are pay-per-view stars. I'm just not understanding that. Nevertheless, let me address something else the brother said. Again, he mentioned that Earl Spence is that Bud Crawford is supposed to take a 60-40 split. But again, that's the same offer that Danny Garcia took. So how is it that you can expect Bud Crawford, the pound for pound number 1 guy, right? Bud Crawford, a guy with a belt. Bud Crawford, a guy that's undisputed. Not undisputed, I'm sorry. A guy who's undefeated. How can you expect him to take the same offer that a Danny Garcia took with 2 losses, a Danny Garcia with no belt, a Danny Garcia with no history of pay-per-view? The two just don't add up. You know what I mean? And then I think the brother said one other thing, man. Okay, I think I already said that. Anyway, in conclusion, I'm just going to wrap it up right here and now. In conclusion, Earl Spence Jr. has been ducking Terrence Bud Crawford for the last 4 years. There's just facts on top of facts, points on top of points, proof on top of proof that back up what it is that I'm saying. I think I seen a brother in the comment section say, when did Earl Spence call out Jeff Horn? Well, brother, in the comment section, you need to do your research because there's video evidence of Earl Spence Jr. calling out Jeff Horn. You gonna say something, Knockout, or you just... I heard you coming.
Nah, go ahead. You got about 15 seconds. Do your thing.
Okay, but I'm gonna go ahead. I'm gonna wrap it up on that, man. I'm gonna pass the mic.
All right, shout out to Mr. Turner with that $10 in the super chat. Appreciate you coming through and showing love. Shout out to my brother BFTV Boxing in the building. BF got a debate tomorrow. Y'all come through tomorrow night. It's gonna be Errol Spence and Terrence Crawford, but him and my brother OTB Boxing Class 101, they got a completely different topic with completely different rounds. So y'all come check them out tomorrow. The debate will start at about 8:15, 8:30. As soon as I get done giving my weekly picks for this week, BFTV Boxing and OTB Boxing Class, they gonna have they turn in the ring and they gonna have a debate, man. So y'all be sure to come check it out. I'm putting the poll up. Who do y'all think won round 2? It is up there for you guys to vote. Let me catch some more super chats, and then we're gonna get straight to round 3, man. It'll be on the homie KD King David again, because he went last in that round. So we switching up. We got Tyrese Bowie with another $2 in super chat. Tyrese, I appreciate you showing support to the channel, man. Thank you so much. He says, Ricky, you dead like boys in the hood. R.I.P. All right, shout out to my brother Tyrese Bowie with that super chat. Shout out to my brother Jamal Randall coming through with the $5 super chat. Jamal say, look up Bud TMZ interview in 2018. He said the fight will happen, but not right now. Then in 2019, Earl called Bud out and he got quiet. 4 years. Where Jamal, I appreciate you. And if you want to sign up for a debate, bro, you can hit my email. Y'all debating the debaters in the chat, bro. Y'all in the chat debating the debaters, bro. Like, that shit crazy to me. It's funny, but I appreciate y'all supporting, y'all just participating, man. It shows how passionate y'all are about the sport. Shout out to my brother D-Man Jr. with the $2 in the super chat. It says KO, throw in the towel. Nah, I ain't throwing in the towel. These boys gonna fight to the end. But ain't nobody getting hurt for real. And before we start round 3, I see Mr. Shelton again showing love in the super chat with the $2. He said even Bud said Spence ain't ducking him. And he laughing out loud at it. Let me see here. I think that's all the super chats. Oh, we got Quee coming in with the super chat. I appreciate you, Quee. TWT, the winning team, with the $5 in super chat. She say, Ricky Williams boxing like taking candy from a badass baby too easy. And shout out to Dub Right Side with the $2 in super chat. Says, wow. In my KQKC voice, great show. Thank you so much, Dub. I appreciate you, bro, for always showing support to the channel. So again, I'm gonna keep beat. Y'all can say it's a dead horse. I don't give a damn, bro. We got 240 people in here. Subscribe to these brothers, man. They are taking time to entertain us. They prepared well and studied well for this. The least we can do is subscribe to their channels, show them some love. That way, they will spread the word that we do things right over here at Knockout Boxing 86 TV, and then maybe we can get more content creators to participate. We're trying to make this a thing and make it as big as possible. But here we go, man. We on the round 3, the final round that will be judged. And this one is, who do you blame if the fight doesn't happen? KD King David is going to be arguing that he is blaming Spence in the damn PBC. He don't care what y'all say. And then Ricky Williams is going to be arguing that he is going to be blaming Bud Crawford if the fight don't happen. This is the portion of the round that is unlimited. So KD, take your time, get your points out. Who do you blame if the fight doesn't happen, and why are you blaming them? Go ahead and talk your shit, man.
Yes, sir. Okay, once again, man, salute to everybody in the chat, all the haters and all the supporters, man. Salute to you, Knockout, man. You working hard out here, and salute to my opponent, Mr. Ricky Williams, man. Appreciate you, fam, for coming on through. You know what I'm saying? But let me get on into it, man. You know, as far as who I blame for the fight not happening, man, I blame Errol Spence Jr., man. I think that goes without saying. You know, just like Knockout mentioned earlier, you know, when it comes to why I'm handing out the blame to Errol Spence Jr., it's very simple. It's very simple. My reasoning for this is that if you look at history, we see that Terrence Bud Crawford has made all the efforts. He's made all the sacrifices in order to get the fight done. He's the one that got the belt when he was requested to get the belt by Errol Spence Jr. and Keith Thurman. He got the belt, right? That was hurdle number 1 / barrier number 1 that I covered a little bit earlier in my last segment. Okay. He waited on the easy route, right? Which, another thing, right? 4 long years of easy route, 4 long years of Danny's and Sean's and Mikey's, all these dudes that could have waited after a Terrence Bud Crawford fight, right? Bud Crawford patiently waiting on all those fights to happen, right? There was a complaint about the other side of the street, in which case Bud Crawford said, oh, yeah, there's an issue with the other side of the street. Let me go ahead and let me eliminate that as a reason for you not making this fight with me, Earl Spence Jr. He fired his promoter that was paying him the most amount of money that any welterweight was making, right, at the time, or that is making, because to this day, no welterweight right now is making a guarantee of $6 million, period, point blank, period. And these are facts, you know what I'm saying? So, again, so he fired his promoter in order to take a pay cut, making his way to the PBC side, leaving himself vulnerable, as a lot of people would like to say, right? A man with no land, a man with no promoter, fired his promoter in order to ensure that this Earl Spence Jr. fight could happen. And again, man, Terrence Bud Crawford has made all the sacrifices in order to get the fight done. So in my eyes, it's very hard to believe that a guy who's made all these sacrifices, right, who's put his career on the line, right, who's done all these things on his end in order to make sure the fight happened, it's very hard for me to believe that a guy like that would go into a negotiation room and not be reasonable. On the other hand, we got Earl Spence Jr., who time after time, there's always a new excuse and a new barrier put in front of the fight, right? The easy route, the side of the street, the belt, all these different reasons, these rhymes and reasons on why the fight can't happen. So it's very hard for me to believe that Earl Spence is being reasonable in the negotiation table. So that's my reasoning. Straight to the point. You know what I mean? Bud Crawford has been trying to make this fight over the last 4 years. Earl Spence Jr. has not. It wasn't up until April of this year where Bud Crawford said Bud Crawford's name for the first time. You know what I mean? So, you know, again, in my eyes, Earl Spence Jr. is almost forced to fight a fight that he really don't want to fight. And those are my thoughts on it. So I'm going to go ahead and pass the mic on that.
All right, Ricky, unlimited round, bro. It's on you. Who do you blame if the fight doesn't happen? Go ahead and talk your shit, man. Unlimited for this portion.
Who do I blame, bro?
You know, man, you're Bud.
If this fight don't happen, it's Bud Crawford fault. What's wrong with y'all, bro? What sacrifices did he make? Being the highest paid welterweight with a guarantee over there fighting welterweights that had nothing for that man. Nothing. Like I told y'all before, man, you got to give Bud Crawford his props, bro. He's a good little fighter, my guy. He's a good little fighter. Right? All this chasing. The prom queen of King High School. You got her right there in front of you when she's still fresh. Get that man what he wants. Sign the paperwork. Where's our fight at? Where's our fight? It seems like Bud is more interested in being a coach than a fighter right now. Shout out to Mo Hooker. Sacrifices. What sacrifices did he make? The only thing that's going to stop this fight from happening is money. And because Bud Crawford was getting paid so much in a market where he was sheltered, you know, because again, y'all want to distance away from Bob. Y'all want to believe Bob's lies. Y'all want to believe when he tell the truth, right? But Bob, the guy your man hired, told him, this guy's losing me money.
I have need of these earthly treasures.
So let me explain something to y'all about business again, because y'all play like business don't play a part in boxing. It's something called market value. What you really worth, right? Bud, while losing money, was getting $6 million paydays. You cannot go out on the market. Example, Eddie Hearn told y'all for a fact, it's on YouTube. We can't pick him up because we can't offer the money he been getting. He's getting overpaid. Where's the sacrifice? One belt since he been at 147. No attempt to go get any other belt. Where's the sacrifice? Sounds like he was really comfortable to me. It's not his fight. The issue is money. The issue is money. Since we like to go back in time to when he was 140 pound and a 5-division champion, let's go back in time, shall we? To a fight that we know that he was asking for, that we know he wanted. You know, the real person he was calling down at 2018 and 2014 when y'all say he was calling Errol when he ain't called that man's name once. When he was calling for Manny Pacquiao. You finally get the fight. The one fight you said, right? Yeah, those other fighters that Errol, you can't say what they'd have pulled. It's Errol Spence that was the draw. Fact. Well, we know for a fact that Manny Pacquiao is a draw. He brings a country with him. Manny Pacquiao sends a signed agreement. Bob gives him the sign to finally get the fight that you've been asking for. The real fight you've been asking for. The real one, not EJ. Right? The real fight you asking for. The one fight that could get you leverage. The one fight that could put your name in the mouth of everybody because you could beat and defeated the Manny Pacquiao. And what did Bo Mack? You know, the guy y'all want to push away from. The guy, even though Bud is still with him to this day, he was just with him on Saturday night when Mo Hooker got cooked by Billy Cobbs. I called that fight, by the way. Y'all want to push him away. Told y'all, live on tape. I told Bud not to sign that fight. We was waiting on the money. We wanted to make sure the money was guaranteed. Like any fighter get paid before the fight happens. That sounds like he ducked Manny Pacquiao to me. Oh, y'all don't want to hear that. If it walked like a duck, it talked like a duck, it moved like a duck, it swim like a duck, it's a goddamn duck.
That's all you got, Rick? All right, cool. Shout out to my brother Zulu Line with the $5 in the super chat. He say, is Bud gonna box or throw rocks? Then I got another one from Jermaine Bean. I missed it. There you go, right there. Shout out to my brother Jermaine Bean. He not getting up, Jim, with the $2 in the super chat. Box or Die has been knocked out. All right, man. All right, I see what y'all doing. All right, man. Look, rebuttal. It's the rebuttal round. It's on Box or Die. Box or Die. You got 5 minutes to rebuttal. Ricky, I'm gonna get my timer going. Let me see here. Here we go. All right, Box or Die. Floor is all yours. I'm going on mute. You got 5 minutes. I'll let you know when you get 30 seconds left if you get there, man. Go ahead and do your thing.